Hello and welcome back to episode 11 of the Old Timers Tales. Here in this series, the old-timer Jayanta Kumar Nath would introduce you to amazing tales from all across the globe belonging to diverse genres. All these stories are a part of an anthology, the book titled, Contemporary Global Fiction. These stories have been wonderfully compiled and edited by Dr. Susminder Jeet Kaur. The book has been published by Penprints India Limited, Kolkata. Today the story we would listen to is, Davina, written by Dr. Achinglue Kamei. Dr. Achinglue Kamei is an associate professor, author, poet, ultra-marathoner and a high-rocks athlete. She has 6 published poetry books. She is currently working on her children's novella titles. Adventures with Grandma, Where the Mountain Meets the Waterfall. Well, if you love these kinds of stories, please press the like button on the screen and subscribe to the channel for more of these tales. So let's start.
Davina, Achinglue Kamei. Davina was 25 years old when she left her home in Spain and traveled to India as a young woman to pursue her career. Her family members were apprehensive about her moving to India, but she had a friend who would help her transition to a career in India. So Davina packed her bags and left for India. Although she missed her family and friends, she knew this was the right choice for her. Despite the challenges of adjusting to a new culture, food, and language, Davina was determined to succeed and make the most of this exciting opportunity. Slowly but steadily, she settled into her new life with work routine. 6 months on, Davina was introduced to a friendly coworker named Amit. Amit was immediately enamored with her and was determined to have her. He wooed her by planning elaborate dates, complimenting and paying attention to her. Amit went above and beyond to impress Davina and win her heart. His hard work paid off as Davina eventually fell for his charms, little knowing that it was all a game for Amit. Although something did not feel right, Davina thought she must be overcautious, and she brushed off her uneasy feelings and continued the relationship. One day, Amit decided to introduce Davina to his parents. He was excited for them to meet and finally get to know one another. However, things went differently than planned. Amit's parents seemed indifferent. They were not keen on having a foreigner for a daughter-in-law. Davina was from a foreign country and would not bring any dowry to the family. Despite this, Amit tried his best to reassure his parents that Davina was the right person for him and that they should give her a chance. He hoped that, over time, they would come to see why he wanted to marry her. Davina and Amit got married. Soon after their marriage, Amit told Davina to stop walking. Life for Davina went downhill, and life became difficult for her. She did not want to say to her parents she was unhappy. They had expressed their misgivings. When she told them about the relationship, she tried to make the best of her circumstances. Davina was devastated when she and her husband were told their son could have trisomy 21 or Down syndrome. Every night she cried. She had a lot of questions: a child's quality of life, how his diagnosis would affect her decision to have more children, and what the future would be like. All these questions consumed her waking moments and nights. She and Amit were on what seemed to be an unending roller coaster ride. Amit wanted to terminate the pregnancy, as the doctor had suggested. Davina did not want to go through the procedure. This added to the tension they already had in the relationship. 9 difficult months went by. This was like a lifetime for Davina. Eventually, she was taken to the hospital for delivery of the baby. When she went into labor, she had mixed feelings of excitement and nervousness, as She anticipated the arrival of her child. Despite her anxiety, she couldn't wait to hold her little one in her arms and finally see his face. She hoped her husband's attitude towards her and treatment would improve once their child arrived. As Davina was discharged from the hospital, she remembered her doctor's advice. Dr. Geeta had said, "Davina, I advise you, as a doctor and a woman, to be patient and understanding of your son's needs. Down syndrome is a genetic condition that affects a child's growth and development. But your son can lead a happy and fulfilling life with proper care and attention. Remember, women are blamed even for genetic disorders in our society. But it is not your fault. Take care of yourself and your son." Celebration of the child's birth was subdued affair. Davina and Amit named their son Leon. They wanted him to be strong and overcome any obstacles. However, before long they discovered that the child had several problems. He had impaired vision and hearing. He had to undergo multiple eye and ear operations. Davina's mother-in-law was not happy because of the expenses incurred. "I don't understand why you can't ask your parents for some money to help out with these bills incurred by Leon," the mother-in-law said, her voice full of venom. "But mother, it's our problem and not my parents. We have to do our best to pay the bills ourselves and not always ask money from them. They have already given us for Leon's birth," said Davina. "Remember, you did not bring any dowry and do not have a paying job. You're part of this family. You need to contribute. Look how hard your husband is working for you and your son," the mother-in-law shouted. "It's not fair. Her husband was the one who made her resign from the job. She did all the household chores like domestic help. Even then, her parent-in-law were never satisfied. It was a difficult situation. The difference in culture did not help. There was no easy solution. Leon got several procedures done for the eyesight and for his hearing. Still, Leon had to wear thick spectacles and regularly visit his oculist for checkups. He also wore an assistive device to improve his hearing. It took a long time for Leon to learn social skills. He also had a speech impediment. When he turned 2, Davina took him to a speech therapy classes. Till the age of 9, Leon was homeschooled. Davina and her husband incurred substantial medical expenses in treating Leon's condition. Her husband and parents-in-law always continued to grumble about the costs. On top of that, all the care for Leon was given by her. Her sleep had gone for a toss. She went into depression. She felt very guilty and remorseful for marrying against their wish. She cried at night, thinking she had been punished. Davina had an emotional breakdown. Her mother-in-law got her and her grandson to join a small club that provides assistance and counseling for children suffering from Down syndrome and for the caregiver, mainly the mother. The club offered a variety of resources and activities for the children, including therapy sessions, educational programs, and social events. Davina also got counseling and got better mentally and emotionally from these sessions. Leon was slowly making progress with his social skills. Life went on. She and her son made many friends and built up her support system. Davina let her son get as much exposure as possible. It served as a great support system for both of them, and they made meaningful connections with other families going through similar experiences. Davina was grateful for the opportunity to be a part of a small group of mothers whose children suffer from the same problem as Leon. She was happy to be a part of such caring communities and felt more empowered to help her son thrive. Davina also attended another awareness program organized by a friend. There too, she heard many testimonies from other parents with different degrees of Down syndrome. Davina and Leon went to the nearby park for a walk. One day, Leon was happy. He was skipping and bouncing like his shoes had springs in the soles. Suddenly, a pack of stray dogs came rushing towards them, barking ferociously. Trying to save her son, Davina got bitten on her legs. For Davina and her son, it was one step forward and two steps backwards. But they kept trying to improve. It was a traumatic experience for Leon. For many nights, he had nightmares and refused to go out again. One morning, Leon got up, looked refreshed and happy. Leon, did you have a good sleep? What did you dream? Asked his mother. Unlike his usual, nothing, replied. Leon looked at his mother, beaming excitedly, and said, Mama, I will tell you. My dream, it was like real. I was walking to the park alone and saw the pack of stray dogs that attacked you. I turned into a hero, caught them all, and put them in the dog shelter in the market. Oh, that's an excellent thing you did in your dream, his mother said. After a few years, Leon was ready to join the mainstream school. All these years, he had been homeschooled by his mother single-handedly. One day, he came home from school excited. Today in class, we did show and tell. It was so much fun. My friend brought in her new puppy and we all got to pet it. Another classmate brought in a cool rock she found at the park and told us all about the different colors and text on it. How lovely. I think you mean to say texture and not text, said his mother. In his hesitant and labored way, Leon said, It's always a great time. I love show and tell. Time in the school because I learned about my friends' lives. Being parents of a disabled child is never easy. Davina attended regular lectures to learn how to manage Down syndrome and look after the child. It was more challenging for Davina because she got no help from her husband's family and her family lives far away. A few years went by and Leon began to be independent. He could now look after himself. His mother ensured he ate healthy and balanced diet with plenty of fruits, vegetables and protein. She encouraged her son to engage in physical activity, playing outside or walking. Through it all, her husband had been indifferent, half-hearted at best. But she continued to give Leon plenty of love and emotional support. She let him join a running group in the city. This helped him build strength and coordination, which are vital for his overall health. It improved his mental strength too. As Leon grew up, Davina noticed some unusual things happening in her house. One night, she insisted she sleep in the same room as Leon. Suddenly, Davina woke up to find her son gone. She panicked, but she did not wake her husband. Davina was more afraid to tell him that Leon was missing. She went out to look for her son in the dark of the night, overcoming her fear. She came back unsuccessful in locating her son. She was wrecked. When she was about to call the police, she heard the door open softly. On interrogating, Leon told her mother, At night, I become a different person and often go out to fight the evil people in Delhi. I can see without my glasses. I mostly rescued women from harm. I also distribute food to homeless people. My superpower is running at lightning speed. Davina knew if Leon had a super talent, he must use his abilities for the greater good and help those in need. He will feel a sense of purpose and fulfillment in knowing he is making a difference in the world. But what if this is a symptom of anxiety and depression? What if Leon is suffering from? For Davina, what Rose Reef said was so true. Raising a disabled child can feel like running a marathon where the finish line is constantly being moved farther away from you. And so, these parents wind up feeling isolated, exhausted, and overwhelmed just by day-to-day life.